As we get back into the technical end of the swing makeover show, surprisingly with the rec guys that we work with, they have pretty good rotation, pretty good body angle. What they're really missing compared to the upper level and the pro players is that oversnap and not dragging the bat head around, but getting that oversnap pro style swing. To use a boxing analogy to demonstrate the difference between the two swings, 95% of the guys that we work with are missing that tomahawk oversnap. They're taking more of a uppercut, which is a looping swing, and brings the bat head around like this with very little snap, as opposed to grabbing this differently, getting that boom, that oversnap and that explosive traveling of the bat head, flipping over the top instead of dragging underneath. It's the biggest difference between the two swings and where all the secondary power and bat speed comes from, besides just your rotation. You can only rotate fast enough, but then getting that bat head to whip through, that's where you really get the top end power that only 5% or the elite guys have in the softball world. The first rule of the snap is it has to be done within the rotation of the body and the hips. There's the rotation of the hips, and then there actually is a linear extension of the hands and the knob of the bat coming out, but it's within the rotation. So there is linear extension here, creating the lag of the bat head, but it's within that rotation that brings everything around. You don't want to just be chasing forward, which will turn you into a lunger, or even if you stay back, you'll end up just throwing the bat head out instead of getting the nice rotation with it. Within the rotation, there is a linear extension of the hands and the knob of the bat, which creates that nice bat lag, and then the second level of bat speed when the bat flips over the top or flips through. You don't want to have it just turning around like this. You have to get that good linear extension, which is what the explosive rotation will create, and then boom, the bat head will come around. The rotation of the hips powers the extension of the arms, creating that nice bat lag, and then the second level of bat speed when it whips through. The next important key is that the muscles are loose and they're not bound and tense. You have to be relaxed in order for that snap to come over. You don't want to be tense and trying to power it around. It has to be a linear extension, and then boom, the bat head whips through. It has to be a very loose and free-flowing motion. And the swing is more speed and finesse than it is actually tense, muscle-bound power swinging the bat around. The snap is created by the rotation and the extension of the hands and arms, and then the snap comes through. We don't want to force the snap by cranking the bat head over. We just create that nice rotation and extension within that rotation, and then the bat head will fly through. Watch the knob of the bat. As the extension of the arms come forward, it actually turns over down, allowing the bat head to flip over as an oversnap, as opposed to what a lot of amateurs or rec guys will do. They'll get to this point here pretty good, and then they continue to pull the knob up. Well, the bat head then drops and you lose all the bat speed in the snap. Once you get the full linear extension within the rotation, the knob is turned down and boom, the bat head flies over the top.
20 years ago on our Learn to Hit a Softball 400-foot video, one of my favorite hitters and best of all time, U-Trip Hall of Famer Doug Johnson from Pause Spectrum, talked about the snap and how important it was to stay loose and get a good extension and stabbing snap. Let's visit Doug and look back 20 years ago.
When you come through, it snaps.
Just leave your wrists really loose and limp?
Yeah, pretty much. If you look at my hands, I mean, just look how they are, you know.
So your wrists then aren't even a thought process. You just keep them loose with that overlap grip,
yep.
Right?
It's not where I'm just like this, you know. I'm just nice, and then when it comes through, wham! That's where it comes through. Coming through is just my top one coming through, bam.
Your top arm extension creates a snap.
Yep, goes right where I want it. bam.
I'll tell you what, it's been 20 years since we did that learn to hit softball 400 feet, but the great mechanics still carry on, and it's great to see you here at 50, you know. Jose Canseco's playing 50s, you can show him how to hit a ball.
I hope.
But the mechanics never change over time, you still have the great swing, it's been an honor.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Big willow tree about probably 20-30 feet into his yard, and it landed up on top of the willow tree. The guys kind of gave me a little guff about that I had a personal vengeance for willow trees, but it felt good. I didn't even feel it off the bat. I hit it so perfect. That's the way long home runs are. You know, you just don't feel them. Everything just clicks together, and the ball hits the perfect sweet spot on the bat, and it's almost like swinging through a cloud. The ball just flies. They don't come along too often.
Hi, I'm Brian Leiser at Valley View Park in Hollandale, Wisconsin, and I challenge Doug Johnson to hit a ball above the rocks in the outfield. I don't think he can do it.
I'll take the challenge.
Sleepy Little Hollandale, where the only excitement is when the dairy cows get loose on the baseball field. Featuring an imposing gray monster in left, it's 340 feet to the upper deck at a height of 22 feet. But back to the small pine, it's 27 feet high and 380 feet out. A monster shot.
Remember that pitch.
I know.
And don't lose that swing, Doug, because now we're going 10 miles away to Mineral Point. We've got a pool to shoot at and an elevated bank in left. It's 440 feet to the back wall of the pool in left center, elevated up 22 feet. But first, you must clear 18 feet of hill and fence at 310 feet just to get there.
I missed that one.
Now, if he would have been on the mound on that one.
You know, you get the new bat out, Kennington.
There you go.
Kevin Kennington model hat out too.
Yeah, no, not no hat, but we do got the bat.
What does a hat cost with your autograph on it? What's that going for these days?
I don't really know. I'd be scared to say. It's probably not a lot. Anybody can probably afford it.
I want to put it out to people before they're frightened. I was actually frightened as a senior citizen when I saw you at the Gladiator pose in the softball magazine with your new hat. What's that all about?
Well, we was just trying to give the mean look, you know, so we wasn't deceiving looking.
I thought you were kind of a nice guy. That's
well, I did shave it. I shaved it all before I come met everybody today.
You're not going to grow that out like Harvey's?
Well, I'd have a lot of work to do to catch up to Harvey.
Would your wife go for that?
She likes it all right. She kind of got on me about it, so I trimmed it back down.
And when Jason starts shaving, perhaps we'll see that out of him too.
When I get old enough to be like Kevin. Look at that. That's what I want to grow up to be like.
This is him.
This is my #1 sales guy right here.
#1. Just make sure
you need Louisville Slugger stuff, you contact Kevin.
Get with me. I'm on it.
So the essential tools that you need for this are the guide rope and the slide tube, which we sell on our website, sportstechnique.com. Also the GT, which is the last tee you'll ever need, never tips over. You can get that at thegt.com. Also Evil balls, they have the orange and white BP balls. You can see if you're cutting the ball correctly, you're gonna get that nice underspin, or you're gonna see the top spin if you're going for cutting the middle to top half of the ball. It's a great tool to utilize in batting practice, and as well as the DeMarini bats. Everybody knows that they have cornered the ASA market with the best bats. This is the 2016 Flipper. I love it, using it in games. And also their whole lineup, including the new Larry Carter mid-load senior bat that just came out, and my dad's swinging it, he's loving it. It's got phenomenal performance. And also look good while you're doing it. Wear DeMariniSP.com to get your custom uniforms, shirts, hats, shorts, everything that you need. It's all done at WearDeMariniSP.com and through shirtsandlogos.com.